Welcome to an episode of Modern Bok. Thank you for joining me today, guys. So, it's been an exciting week. I hope you've caught my Blue Bulls interview, and that's inspired another video bits. I've been thinking about it, and a lot of people are calling the Brits migration, the Brits return, and a lot of people are saying, and it's just a case of showcasing how Skulk Brits' immense success in this last year's World Cup and Bulls season, I think has started to go as a little bit of a trend. I know that it's been some of the players maybe before that and that, but he's definitely, I think, starting to bake this idea in teams' minds and consider it really heavily in having it that if South Africa is going to continue having this heavy exodus of players, losing huge amounts, especially after each World Cup cycle, the fact of the matter is South Africa still has wealths of talent which are finishing their careers in England, which could now possibly, since they're moving earlier, can move back earlier. And we're starting to see that with players, especially on the last season or two of their careers, returning. Dwayne Vermeulen and Brits, a great example from last season for the Blue Bulls, but a bunch more. I mean, Yanni du Plessis was just announced to come back for the Lions, and that is big. The guy has, he's 37, also nearing pretty much the end of his career, probably only one season left in him. But what a way to come back and I think just experience South Africa. And a lot of players do want to return home, back to their families and finish off here in their home grounds. And so I think it's a very exciting idea. Obviously, the Bulls have got Morne Steyn and Josh Strauss coming and Kruger, all great players. Even the Stormers were looking at for Mark. So there's definitely a lot of interest. And it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. So analysis-wise, why I think this is so important is because you do have larger and larger teams of younger players as they are getting, a lot of your players are leaving earlier. Your teams are getting younger. The players aren't having as long careers at the clubs for some of them, especially your big stars. So you need to get them blood faster. And one of the best ways to do this is have players who have had years of experience in international conditions, in international play, in Super Rugby level, in European rugby. Get them blood faster, understand the levels. And I mean, you saw how Skulk Brits, I think, was a cornerstone to the World Cup line-out. He was so essential to how the team carried itself and the morale in the team. Such an important thing about rugby we forget, that it's not only about the quality of the players, but the unity of the players, the experience and the calm demeanor, the maturity of them. And that's what I'm loving about this new idea, and it's very interesting. Obviously, another factor here is that most of the Super Rugby teams starting next year are new coaches. The first Super Rugby seasons for a lot of them. Only the Bulls with a coach that's already played Super Rugby, and only one season to be that. So very interesting. I mean, we've got the Lions, Sharks, with obviously Stormers, you've got Dobson, you've got Everett for Sharks, and Ivan for Lions. It's a lot of new coaches in, obviously they've been coaches for years, but Super Rugby level. So these kind of players are going to be essential, I think, to also calm the team, calm the nerves of the whole management system, and just get them going forward. As you saw, it helps. I think it helped hugely for the Bulls, and has definitely helped for the World Cup. I think the other thing that's really nice to see about this is how much these players actually do love playing in South Africa, understanding that they want to finish their careers here, they want to show the people back home, the people they love, and it's a really nice way to sunset your career, to end it off back home, back with your family, back with the people who built your game. And I really think that's a nice thing for South African rugby, and will be a really good thing for a lot of the teams to be able to build faster ourselves, but also I think mature a lot of our teams in a very interesting way, and maybe even add a little bit of sentimentality to the games we watch. So I'm quite excited about it. But I want to know from you guys, what are the big players you want to see come back and finish their careers here? Who do we need back? There are so many stunning players playing over there, overseas in Europe and in Japan, and I would love to see come and have one or two more seasons here. And as you can see, there's no such thing as a done player. If they have the heart and the spirit to finish it off, they can be the best out there. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this. What is your opinion of this whole new trend that I think is going to start flowing? And yeah, watch out for the end of the week. There's some big news coming from SuperSport, as we heard from my Bulls interview. If you want to see it, there's a link happening now too. For the news for Super Rugby 2020. Watch out for it. And yeah, I can't wait, guys. I will bring out a video covering that once it's announced. I can't say more, sadly, but we will put some out there once that SuperSport's announced. Cheers, guys.